Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Shine On You podcast. Christina and I are here today to go a little bit back into this 2024 experience. Yeah. And by the time you were listening to this, watching this, it will be 2025.
Yeah.
That one feels a little big rolling off the tongue.
Yeah, it's going to be a big year.
I think it has the potential. I'd love to get into that.
Yeah. Shall we?
I think we shall.
I think we've gathered just for that.
I think so. Yes. And it is a full circle because you and I sat down in the very beginning of 2024.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
And
we were having a similar weather day. It was like, it was kind of like 70 degrees in the dead of winter. And we're like, hey,
we're here.
We're here in the winter.
Yeah. I mean, this past year to me has felt like a hallucination. I may have said that on the last episode, or maybe it was off the mic, but it felt like it was here, it was happening, and then now it's like, poof, like what happened?
Yeah.
Where'd it go? Was I
Excuse me.
alive? I don't know.
You were alive. I think you became many different versions of you. Yeah. Time is a very funny thing because this is probably not the first time you've said the year flew by.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right? But then certain seasons seem to really be long. And usually it's the seasons laced with suffering. Not to get
I love it.
Dim the lights on me in that one moment.
Yeah.
Suffering.
Here to uplift and motivate or talk about the reality of suffering.
It exists. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but the beginning of 2024 for me, it kind of hit me fast and furious, and I felt a lot of internal ambition and motivation, and it was shown to me as the year progressed that my mental state, my mental body has a natural propensity towards ambition. Yeah. However, my physical
ambitious
body
AF.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes. Ambitious AF. And my energetic body, my physical body, my actual capacity to live out the ambition of my mind is quite different in reality.
Right. Your avatar is like, we can't. Yet.
Yeah. Yet. Or maybe you are a little delulu. No. I think this year has shown me that in a kind of in a gentle way, I will say.
What if what you've been shown this year was like a time release capsule and everything that you've seen will unfold in the next decade?
What? That's fun to think about.
Right? Like what if the thought of it
the
all needing to
the knowings
was whispers of what is to come. Be interesting. It'd be interesting to see if in spring and winter of 2025, if you get again another rush of another batch of things.
Interesting.
It'll be interesting. Or if not, you just keep building on the batch that was released this year. 2024.
I appreciate that introspection. I think and as we all do, right, there's a lot of that emphasis around going back and reflecting and kind of evaluating. It's a marker of time. I mean, I know we're going to speak a little bit more about the astrological new year and when the energy really kind of picks up, because I can tell you from where I am in this present moment, what is it, December 19th, still in 2024, I am taking it soft and slow into 2025. And you heard it here first, okay? Now you might have to hold me to it, but right now,
today, Thursday,
I'm slowing my roll.
Yeah, it's important to honor the seasons. I learned this from one of the most just beautiful nature-oriented gates or gene keys in human design and gene keys is the 5. And it's all about patience. And then at the highest expression, the Siddhic frequency is timelessness. And so the 5 has the potential, whether you have it in your design or your chart or not, you can tap into this energy, and we're all designed to have awareness of all 64 keys, whether they show up in our profile or not. Anyway, it speaks about how when you are in tune with nature, you are always on time. So patience actually isn't even required, because patience is still the gift state where you haven't yet gotten to the big so what of, timelessness of everything is unfolding in the correct time. And whether I effort and stress or push or relax, like it's all already happening.
It's all already happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I actually had that. I had a shower download this morning.
Yeah, those are the best.
I know.
Little rubber ducky, which like, Renee.
Yeah. It reminded me of a yoga class a long time ago. I mean, long time ago. And the teacher was one of my favorites. And he said that it doesn't matter, like this is essentially the message, was it doesn't matter how much you effort or try, things are going to unfold without having to do that, right? Like it's going to be okay. It's going to unfold regardless of how much efforting you are putting in.
Nice.
Which for someone who thinks that they have to kind of like jump in and get things done, that message has always stuck with me. So I actually had that come back today, and I was like,
relatable.
Yeah, I was like, I feel that.
It's so tender, and that, I get why you were saying soft, and it feels gentle, and it definitely resonates with the feminine makeup, where we are just like very aware of everything that needs to be done. And always. And I've actually heard, you'll find this interesting, because I know you get nerdy about this too, but I've recently been diving down into Alison Armstrong's work. She's an incredible crone. And a lot of people don't know what that word means, I've realized too. And it's like an older, wiser sage of a woman. Typically been through menopause, has a different kind of chemical makeup, and kind of like the role model reflects back on life and realizes, that's what was happening there. So we need crones in our world. And Alison Armstrong really exemplifies this.
I'll have to check her out.
Beautiful crone energy. So she speaks about the effect of estrogen on the female brain, testosterone on the male brain. And she does a lot of work around her book, The Queen's Code, and how women can respect men in a better way by understanding them, and how, women can understand themselves better. Because I don't think we even know ourselves as much as we.
It's a bit of a mystery.
We're mysterious to ourselves, so I can only imagine. So she says that the estrogen in the brain makes us really good gatherers. So traditionally, the masculine energy would be the hunter, the feminine energy would be the gatherer. So we are equipped to scan the meadow and recognize that, the dry cleaning needs to go out, the dog's sick, the baby needs to be fed, my husband's cranky, the dishes aren't done, the laundry's going, I'm hungry, I need sleep, and tomorrow bills need to be paid. And it's just like all at once, all the time.
Monitoring. I would say.
Scanning.
Yes. Scanning, yep.
And then checking in. And that's why we're so great at connectivity, because we're like, hey, haven't heard from you. What's going on? And we form those relationships, and that brings sort of the warmth. Whereas the testosterone really gives them the male brain the ability to just single-mindedly focus on something. And you can see it.
Yes.
Like, if you leave a man alone to the task, he's doing the task, and he's not leaving until it's done and complete.
Right.
And you are not getting him to do anything else until
yes.
the thing is done. And so she really just speaks about the beauty of that. And I think
that balance.
Right. And I think what you're saying about entering the new year softly is a really great message for the feminine to approach life in general, not just for the new year.
Yeah, I'm full scan mode right now. Like hyper scan mode, which is why I think moms get so burnt out this time of year, because we have so much to scan on the everyday, and then you add on another layer of holiday commitment, tradition, expectations, chores, everything, right? So then it just takes it up to another level.
Yeah.
And I have a very high scanning capacity.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So really, yeah, borderline hypervigilant, right? Like I can tell you before something needs to be done. So right now, when I leave here today, I have a very orderly notes app that, or, note in my notes
Sure,
app
sure.
about executing on about 10 things
Okay.
before I pick my son up at 3.
Yeah.
So,
And it will happen.
I envision it will. It
Yeah.
usually does. It usually does.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, it's like a gift, and it's a natural ability, but then there's also that sense of like, okay, so once we've gone through this peak state of the holiday, where we have monitored and scanned even more, it's like being able to let down softly and not flip into a doing, go, 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 more masculine state is what I am envisioning embracing this year. Because I think in the past where I've gone wrong and why I was so tired a year ago after the holiday is I didn't give any buffer to come down, to come back into my own energy after being around, others, family, commitments, things like that, and really like soften into that. So that's what this season, this particular marker for me is what I'm really like, just kind of feeling cozy about, feeling settled with.
I love it.
I'd like to tuck in a little bit.
Yeah, I love that.
How about you?
And properly winter. I mean, that's back to the 5. It's talking about rhythms. The rhythm of nature is, especially here, our leaves are still dying. We're still sort of fall, winter. Mm-hmm. I saw my neighbor's yard this morning. I was driving by and it was all orange and yellow and beautiful and blanketed with all the leaves from the rain and wind.
It does linger, which is
kind of cool.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. But yeah, here we are, end of December, and we're falling. So our season's a little delayed. But I think after the holidays, as you're speaking about, and into the beginning of the new year, it's winter, it's cold, and it's a time to really, what I've been thinking about is nurturing and nourishing my roots, the things and the bonds and the habits and rituals and routines that are nourishing to me and do give me more energy and do feel like not burdensome on my checklist. They, in fact, are like non-negotiables because they make me feel so good.
Right.
Those things I really want to nurture and give life to, and maybe even add fertilizer to and more energy to, and then just trim back a lot of things. And I've got some cleaning up to do in January because of just things with past relationships and a little bit of like legal stuff coming in, which is awesome. And I think it's going to be, I was contemplating my word this year, the word that I chose
for 2024.
For 2024, correct? Yeah, was devotion, and that when I chose that word, which I choose an anchor word every year, as you know, and I've been doing this for about 6 years now, and it was sort of me rebelling against the narrative of New Year's resolutions of just a big giant sort of, no offense, masculine oriented checklist of shit I had to do and be and become. And it felt like I needed to do it all in the month of January.
So much pressure.
Never, ever resonated with me.
Right.
So I started to think about how could I offer in something that had a little more room to breathe. So I would choose a word for the year and it'd be my anchor word. And then intentions and goals would bloom around the contemplation of that word. So I've chosen words before like hope, love, presence. That was a powerful year. Devotion was this last year. Also, presence and devotion have probably been my most powerful words so far just because of the season I was in. And I make these beautiful little bracelets that have like a gold ring on them, and I stamp the word in them, and they have this cord, and I don't have mine on because I've offered it already, and that's how I like to do my ceremony of release for the word. And I get a sign, not necessarily at the end of the year, to let the word go, and I'll offer it to the ocean. I've offered one to the fire before. There was a big bonfire on the beach, and I gave it to that, and I've left it in Ireland on trees, little fairy trees where people leave trinkets and blessings and prayers. I've left one in Colorado. So they're I like to think about, I'm such a travel-oriented bird, as you know.
Yes.
So I love to think about my little nest, like my little PowerPoints all over the world now. And I'm going to continue, I don't know, leaving my little eggs everywhere.
Yeah, it's like putting a little pin on a map.
Yeah.
Like I was here.
And you know what's really cool is I've gotten the privilege to go back and visit a few of the ones that I've offered, and they're there.
Oh, they're still there.
So it's really cool.
Gosh, that's
yeah.
awesome.
Well, I mean, you take someone's bracelet
Yeah.
that was offered on a fairy tree or an altar. That's bad juju.
What kind of heathen are you?
Bad juju.
Yeah.
So don't do it. Anyway, so we do a really beautiful ceremony. Have you ever been to one of my intention setting ceremonies?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not.
You might have to change that.
I might.
If it softly aligns with
Yeah.
your. So I hold a cacao ceremony with the community.
They're legendary though, because I've heard of them not only in your
They are like
explanation of them,
mythic.
but yes.
Yeah, they sort of have their own
They leave a mark,
essence.
for
yeah.
sure.
And we do a typical cacao ceremony, and they will choose their word, and they'll have time to marinate on it too. And if they don't know, we can get it to them later. But we'll stamp their bracelet for them while we're in meditation in the cave or wherever we're at. And they get their word after that ceremony, and it begins. And so we're doing one at Prana Salt Cave in January, and then we're going to be doing another one at Quantum Journeys.
And they sell out.
Always.
The one. Do you have the dates?
Like, honestly, I was hesitant to even talk about the Prana one because it's already halfway sold out at time of recording. But that's January 4th. And then the Quantum Journeys will likely be a few days after that.
And they get a little tangible anchor to take with them.
Last year, I was so inspired and really needing to pull myself out of like a hopeless hole that I was in. And after I chose my word devotion, I was like, I'm not just going to stop making these bracelets for the people that are physically here, because I always share them online and people ask about them. So I ended up like shipping out like 60 bracelets, just 60? Stamping. I'm not kidding
I didn't know
you.
you were up to that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, you didn't see me a lot in January.
You were stamping. You're a little metal worker.
Yeah, if you're only listening and you didn't see me, I'm like elf shopping with a hammer. It really actually healed me, and my word devotion was to my purpose at the beginning of the year.
I was going to ask you, how did you come up with devotion?
One of my mentors spoke a lot about devotion that during December and January of 2024, 2023, and something rang in my ears. And if you're thinking of how to choose an anchor word, feel it. Like, just go by feeling. And then when I looked into it, there's actually a gene key that I've always been attracted to that is about devotion, and the shadow is half-heartedness. And I just really had felt how that half-heartedness had came over me. I even feel like that episode we recorded last year, January, or this year, whatever. Literally my heart wasn't fully there, because it was just there was so much pain and suffering in other areas of my life. And so the devotion also felt like pouring into me and my purpose, and making sure that I was operating from a full overflowing cup.
And I was going to ask you, did you start off thinking devotion in terms of someone else or something else, and then it shifted to be more devotion to yourself?
It did. Yeah. Yeah. And the something was the priestess energy that I always aspire to. Anything that I do with my business especially is around the vision of the high priestess. And you can look that up in tarot to get a feel for it. But there's also the priestess energy from the ancient Egyptians, and the Greeks also had priestesses and oracles, and all of that imagery really inspires me. What their role was in society, I feel, was so crucial. Originally the devotion was, how can I get myself back to the version of me that was completely devoted to serving the world? Because that was where I got so much joy.
Yeah.
And I felt like that relationship that ended really sucked my capacity to do that.
Yeah.
And I was not okay with that.
Yeah.
So it was very fiery, the word, in the beginning of the year. And I went to Guatemala and Costa Rica, and I did a lot of traveling that really just like invigorated that purpose. And And then the word started to shift like midsummer. And it started to feel like, okay, now devotion to like Christina as a human, as a woman, as a lover, as, you know, a daughter and a sister. And it started to blossom through my family and my role that I play to my brothers and to my mother and my extended family. And I started to feel more devotion to how it's not just texting my brother back. It's really like harvesting a connection with him and like nourishing that. So it's been a serious word. Like it's kind of taken me really, really deep within myself.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the transformation that's been visible that you've gone through in this past year.
Yeah. Color, everything. I started blonde, started this 2024 blonde.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. You've definitely been on a transformational journey, as we all have, but this was a big one for lots of different moving pieces, I think, and change.
Did you choose an anchor word?
I did not.
No. Okay.
No, I did not. And I probably had an intention written down because I am such an avid writer, journaler, but a lot of times I don't. Once it comes through, I kind of don't really, and occasionally I like to go back and kind of peruse through my journals and be like, wow, that came through, you know? So there probably is something in there, but I didn't hold on to it. Like if that makes sense. So it was in the subconscious and it may have worked out and we just don't know to talk about it.
Yeah.
Right now,
well, and sometimes like let life come in and show you what's needed.
Yes.
Yeah. And it did.
Yes. This year was interesting. It was a very, I think I finally shifted some patterns within myself that were, you know, that were ready. They were, you know, calling me forth to look at, to shift and to kind of come back into, you know, just not feeling that sense of internalized pressure that, you know, that I definitely tend to have. But yeah, it was an interesting year. I feel like I really came home to my myself in terms of like stripping away some of the things that I've picked up on collectively, not necessarily collectively, that's not the right word. It's things that have kind of, I have taken on that really kind of needed to be let go of.
Like conditioning.
Conditioning, thank you. And coming back to kind of like, what does my inner child like to do?
Yeah.
And if I make her happy, everything else is going to fall into place.
Yes. At the very least, you show up for problems and situations as the best you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you've spoken about 2 episodes ago about some of the money stuff that you guys conquered this year. That was
we
huge.
had a little unexpected tax situation that came about, even though we thought we had done our due diligence with asking the right questions. We learned as you know, within my marriage, we learned like, okay, we got to double down. And it was like, it kind of took some, it lingered. It didn't, fun lingering human thing to take care of that needed to be resolved. It got resolved. And through that, you know, I think there was a lot of, letting go, trusting.
To that point of the lingering, I think this is like a really precious little gem. I believe, from my perspective, when something really uncomfortable lingers longer, I think it's God's cosmic joke to make you realize there's a greater power at work and you have to start to tap into your faith. Of like, okay, we've physically done everything we can and it's still not done yet.
Yeah.
Help. Like it's where you kind of, for me, enter into a state of surrender.
Yeah. I mean, you know, when it comes to the minutia of being a human, right, and having to do these things that are like taxes and legal matters and stuff that you're like, oh, I'm a creative person. Do I have to deal with this? Do I really?
Yeah.
Like it's a real bummer. Like it really like kind of gets in there and you're like, I'd rather not.
Yeah.
Do I have to?
Yes.
So
relatable.
Yeah. So we doubled down and figured it out.
Did you feel like there was a faith element, or is that just kind of not with this situation?
Yeah, there was definitely a trust element. It was a like I have said, like to say, is it was holding the pose. Like, you're in a yoga pose.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah, I like
uncomfortable and you're
that.
just like, okay, we're breathing, we're
We're
holding, we're
sweating.
breathing. Yes, we're sweating. We're
We're
burning,
trembling.
burning away, letting things go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we know at some point the pose will change, right? So,
We will get out of it.
yes.
Like, we're
This
not
is
going to.
not a permanent pose.
Yeah. Yeah. Drive home.
Or
Warrior 3.
like Shavasana. Oh, that was deep.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh.
So anyway, but the there were some lessons that came up that at the beginning of the year were not on my radar that I was like, of course, life is lifing and, we're
Yes.
carrying on as best we can. But it did kind of allow me to become a little softer
Yeah.
and, and also kind of check ourselves on some things that
Do you
we
feel
should
like
do.
there's a part of the year that's more extroverted to you and more introverted to you?
Well, I don't know necessarily parts of the year per se, because I am a little bit flipped when it comes if you're just talking seasonally, because
Yeah.
in the summer, I feel very flat. I mean, I get a little inspiration from being warm and the sunlight,
Yes.
but I actually feel pretty flat in the summer.
Wow.
I
Okay.
feel better this time of year. I feel better fall into winter.
Yeah.
But then once you get to February, I'm over it and I'm
Yeah.
not necessarily feeling the same energy.
Yeah.
Like right now, I mean, do you feel like any nostalgia or traditions for you this time of year that like make you feel tingly excited?
I am in such a different time right now than I typically would answer this question. So I'll just answer it honestly and authentically with where I'm at this year. It's a very confronting time of the year, because this time last year I was doing all the things that are a part of tradition and really like bringing in the holiday cheer and buying the Christmas tree and choosing a theme for the Christmas tree and the lights and the
Yes.
presents and la la la. And I loved it. Kind of. There was a lot of there was the pinnacle and the peaking of relationship issues for me during this time last year. So this year, as I've been, thinking about, will I put a tree up? Will I put decorations up? How do I feel? Am I excited by this? It's all no's. And instead of judging myself, I'm just allowing it to be maybe another sort of grieving period.
100%.
And not, again, it feels good to just accept it.
Yes.
Because
don't fight. Don't like, why resist?
I mean, conditioning would make me
Sure.
resist it.
Sure.
And then I've had some people make comments and I see other people's cheer and I join in with them. I'm like, this is so cool. And I have put some little lights up because I just love ambience in my house. And yeah, I love going over to my friends' houses right now and they're all decked out and there's presents under the tree. And I'm like, this is so cool. But I live alone. I'm a single woman living alone and I'm grieving the separation of a marriage, and it feels really good to just do whatever the fuck I want
Exactly.
on whatever fucking season it is.
100%.
So it's a little bit of like reclamation of me, and that has birthed my word. I think the word I'm going to choose for next year is freedom for 2025.
Freedom.
Yeah.
I think that is your eternal word.
It is.
I feel like
It
that's not
actually
just a year. That's an eternal
It's
word.
not. And that's kind of the funny, that's why
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure if I'll choose it, because
Okay.
it's such a signature of who I am. I don't know if it's something that I need to spend a whole year focusing on. I think I'm spending a whole lifetime focusing on it. So we'll see.
We won't hold you to it. We won't.
You guys will be
Nobody
gentle with me?
listening. Yeah. You
It'll
have
be a surprise
yes,
if I
space to
yeah.
figure that out.
This is an emotional authority thing. We start a contemplation. I'm going to sit with it. It literally popped up on the drive here.
Okay.
So
this is fresh.
This is fresh. So like check back in with me in 2 weeks
Yeah.
and we'll see where we're at.
We're hearing it here first.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, freedom is helping me just like really. So I'm celebrating the season in that way.
Yeah.
Like, ooh.
Totally. And I appreciate you being vulnerable, because it is, this time of year is very sensitive for many people.
Yeah.
Maybe something, transpired around this time of year that was hard, or perhaps a healing or a loss or all of that
There
is
can be loneliness.
so valid.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and to be gentle with yourself and not have that pressure of like, I'm
It has to-
supposed to be
Yeah.
keeping up because maybe I felt like it last year or circumstances permitted. So,
Or the expectations you
Yes.
mentioned. If people are coming over to your house, like it has to look a certain way to give them the experience.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even my mom discussed that. She was like, well, like you get to see the tree and like you'll get to, but I'm like, it's not going to give me a good feeling though.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell it doesn't light me up to go pick one out. It's
Yeah.
like, it's not feeling good. So I'm just going to honor it. And
Yeah. How human of you. Yeah.
Well, I
to
hope-
go through that and
I
give
ho-
yourself space
Yeah.
and grace to.
Yeah, and I'm not crying every day in my house wishing there was a tree there. It's a genuine, it's a genuine feeling that it feels more free to not have that kind of deal going on.
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to 2025, and numerology is a 9-year. So if you add,
Okay.
right? So
Completion, correct?
that's right. So in numerology, all the numbers have significance to them, but the 9 years, the ending of a cycle, and then the next year to come is a 1. So collectively, we're going into a really interesting time with 2025, and you just add that together. That's how I'm getting a 9. 2 plus 2 plus 5.
5.
And so the 9 completion. And it's going to be a year for us collectively, whether your personal year aligns with that or not, on some level, we'll be wrapping things up. And maybe there will be some death as far as like patterns, habits, addictions that aren't serving you anymore, relationships that are draining you. If you've been wanting to change careers, the 9 might really support that.
When was the last time we had a 9-year? I can't do math. So that was 10 years ago or 9 years ago?
Don't ask me math questions on a fucking live recording.
Pop quiz. Christina, when?
Can we phone a friend with a calculator? What the heck is this? This is evil.
I need to. Okay, look here. I have a. All right, look. Tangent.
I'm looking for help. Help me.
I just did the very thing that drives me crazy with some astrologers online. Is they're like, what was happening in your life February of 2017? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, I don't know what was happening last February. Like, are you kidding me? Like, you want me to go
Yesterday.
back and recall? Like, you're giving me like math assignments / like.
Yes.
So I didn't mean to throw you off there, but
Too late.
I'll get back to. I need to go and do the math now and find out what was, because I might be able to grasp a whole year.
I think it was a soundboarding question. I should have just stayed silent. Like, what do you think?
Anyways,
But it is okay, Renee. You have a point.
just
But
want
it's
to know what was happening the last 9 years.
So I got so fucking obsessed with this that I went back and I was like, 2023, 8-year. 2024.
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
And I
you're
wrote
prepared.
it. Yes. So you go back and you do it. And then I looked at my personal life and was like, okay, I was in LA, moved from LA halfway
9 years
through the
ago?
year. No,
You don't know.
I'm giving
Okay,
examples,
okay,
girl.
okay.
I already said I don't know.
Okay. What personal year are you in? Because there's the
Yes.
2025 that we're all
Good
in.
question.
but
Yes.
What personal year are you in?
So you find your personal year by adding your month of birth, day of birth, and the collective year. So my month is May. That's a 5. Day of birth, 24, plus the 9, which is 2025. So I'll be in a 2-year.
A 2-year. Okay.
And you add it and like you keep reducing it. So let's say, yeah.
I gotcha.
Okay.
You just keep breaking it down
Keep breaking
as far
it down.
as you can.
Yeah. Even if you get an 11. Like some people say there's a significance to an 11, but you add the ones
You get a 2.
and you get a 2.
I'm in a 5-year.
So 2025 is a 5-year.
What? You just said 2025 is a 9-year.
No, for you, I'm asking.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for me
Okay.
personally.
So you've been in
Too
a
many
4-year.
numbers. Numbers are not my strength.
Yeah.
I've
So-
been in a 4-year.
Okay, cool. 5 years are all about change.
What?
Yeah. 5 years are change, switching it up. Well, what's interesting is the 4-year is, if you look at the whole 9-year cycle, this will kind of like give you a perspective. The 4 and the 5 are in the middle
Yep.
of the 1 and the 9. And so the 4 is like really making sure your foundations are solid. Like that you can finish this year manifesting the shit you wanted in the 1 year. And then the 5 is like, all right, let's start doing it. So
That tracks.
yeah, the
That
5
tracks.
is playful and lighter. It can have a little bit of like chaos in it if you let yourself get swept up in a flurry of like, I'll do all this.
Right.
Just be intentional.
Right. Which I told you I'm not going to go into
You did.
flurry mode.
You did mention that. You told us we needed to hold you accountable for that.
That's correct.
Okay. Because it's real easy to wrangle a dolphin when you're a bird.
I'll come up to the surface. You can peck me on the head.
And I don't see you for another 4 days.
There she goes.
There she goes.
Back down to
She's
the depths.
really good at holding her breath. They usually can only do it for like 5 minutes.
You're not kidding.
Oh, so yeah, it's really fun. I typically will incorporate the numerology for clients when we do the circles because it's just helpful. Some people are like, I don't know what word to choose, like joy, love.
Yes.
You know?
Okay.
So that word can, the number can anchor the word.
I like it.
So yeah, that's something that I'm going to bring into my contemplation with the 2.
Gotcha. What is the 2 about?
The 2 is partnerships.
What?
So the 1 year is, okay, new cycle, new me, who dis.
Right.
And we start figuring out where we want the next 8 years to go. Like it can feel like a total course correct, which is like so on brand for me. My 1 year started off with a complete, almost like erasing of where I thought I was going to be headed.
Right.
So a huge piece of the puzzle fell away and I was like, oh, awesome. So now I get to make this puzzle maybe bigger, maybe more expansive, more beautiful. And so that's where the devotion came into, where I was like, I want this next 9 years anchored in what I know already. I'm so fortunate to know already what right now my soul purpose is. And as it evolves, that's awesome. But I'm going to build on what I know.
Yep.
And I'm just follow my passion there. So the 1 is starting, beginning. And the 2 is like, okay, now let's really start to, it's a foundational number. The 2 and the 4 are both like building foundations, and the 2 is alliances. And I can see how I'm already starting to do that. So the numbers kind of bleed into each other a little bit.
Exciting. I mean,
Yeah. It's interesting that the 9 will be happening while I'll be 2ing.
right?
Yeah.
You kind of flipped there a little bit, huh?
A little bit.
Yeah. Now I need to go home and do everyone I know. So
That's how it goes.
I know.
You need to
So
be
I
like,
feel
where's my husband at?
Where
the
I
kids
gotta
at?
map everybody out. Let them know what's up.
Map yourself out. Do some math.
Yes. Off camera, I'll do math. Clearly.
Please. Because
Clearly.
it'll make people start to sweat.
I know. Sorry to put you all through that. So starting off soft, I feel like the other thing I was going to say about that too is like just kind of embracing like a sacred pause. You know,
Nice.
I feel like I have sort of taken for granted. I don't know if that's the right word, but maybe I just haven't realized how fortunate I am to kind of be, you know, let's see, 5 years ago, I was like a very different version of me. I was very like entrepreneurial and building and, you know, expanding in terms of like business and growth and things like that.
Yeah.
And then at some
Like
point,
hunter mode.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That ambition was driving full force. And then at some point, I got gifted a redirection in the version of burnout, which I think happens to middle-aged projectors. No, it happens to everyone. Happens to everyone.
Yeah, but specifically.
But specifically, I can speak to. So, yes, I was gifted, some health stuff, some burnout, some like, oh shit, can't do
Needing
much of
your
anything.
attention.
Yeah,
Yes.
if we don't feel like we can function.
Health is like queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, going through that,
Yeah.
it lended itself. And thankfully, I do totally acknowledge I have support in my day-to-day life and you know,
partnership,
in
yeah.
my partnership, because I have felt like I have been in this sacred semi-retirement. Now, I am still like definitely the director. What did I say? The dodo, the director of wait a minute. What is it? Director of domestic operations.
Oh my God.
Which could be the dodo. It could be the doo-doo. Could be.
Some days could be both.
Could be both. Yes. So
Your quick sidebar. Your daughter posted an Instagram story yesterday, and she's like posing in one of her outfits, clearly in your living room. And you're in the back and you're like, "Where is the tape? Where is the tape?" And I'm like, "That is so Renee." And your daughter's like, "I don't know." And she's still like posing.
tape and scissors. Where are they? No mom knows.
And
Okay.
you're just singing, looking.
I love it. Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm glad that was entertaining because
Very.
Yes, I was looking for tape because
I could feel that.
the
concern.
dodo requires tape, especially at the holidays.
Well, what was so funny is Olivia was dancing with a leaf. So
yeah,
I
gave the elephant plants a haircut, and
they neaded it.
God bless that felt like I was dismembering a body. Those things are huge,
Bigger than you,
and
easily.
thick, and like heavy. So
Yeah.
she was like, "Do I look like Tinkerbell?" I'm like, "Yes, you do."
Where is the tape?
Where's the tape?
She's like, "I don't know."
It's so funny. I just had a flashback. I had a pair of scissors that I wrote like, so naive. I wrote "mom" on them like they're gonna stay attached to my desk.
That probably made them more attractive.
Mom scissors. You're right.
Mine
I
now.
was just thinking. I don't even know they were blue. They're gone. They're gone. I don't
Okay,
know.
well, kids, find them
Yeah, kids.
because she's out for them.
Listen, I
She's
have
looking.
backup. I've got backup because I am taking care of.
Professional dodo.
Yes, professional dodo. That's
Got
what
backup?
Look, that's what's gonna be on my Instagram handle or my bio from now on is professional dodo.
With a
Like
little
or
dodo
just dodo.
emoji,
Yeah.
yeah.
With a dodo bird. There is a dodo emoji.
As there should be.
Yes.
Are they going extinct? No, now I'm just lying.
Now
Don't
you're just
listen to
making
me.
stuff
No.
up. This sacred semi-retirement from feeling the need to push and do and achieve. Like, I don't think I've realized that that's been sort of this underlying
Yeah.
pull
Happening.
and happening.
You've just been doing it and living it
I
without maybe savoring it. Is that what you're
yeah,
getting
that's
at?
what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've really savored it. So we're gonna take a beat coming into this
Ooh.
new year and just kind of like, okay, let's take a sacred pause. Let's just be really grateful that we have this space to do this. So that's my story.
Love that.
And maybe I will pick a word this year. Maybe it'll be sacred pause. No, 2 words. Can I do 2 words?
You can, but we do have a character limit, so don't be making me do math again on camera, okay? It's like only so many letters you can get in this little ring on
Right.
a bracelet.
I
Start
love
stamping
that.
the back.
That's so funny.
You have 2?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a stack.
God, yeah. They get all twisted.
Yeah.
Like forever OCD trying to. Oh my God.
So good.
So the other thing I had on the agenda for us is to pull a card.
please do.
Okay.
Yeah, I see the beautiful cards, and I love this particular deck.
Do you know what I laugh at is I look back at our episodes and I always have things. I always
You
have
do
books
bring-
and
you bring
cards
little
and things.
goodies.
I do. So this is the Starseed deck by Rebecca Campbell. And
Her decks are my favorite.
oh, I forgot to.
Please give everybody get up in the mic. Give it.
Do you like that? Because I know people pay for that. So
That's right.
we do have a Venmo. We will link on the episode. Start doing like.
There, that's good.
Okay, stop. So
No,
funny.
I mean,
There's so many ASMR videos that are just, they just crack me up. And if you have nails,
they're
you have
over
to
the
kind of
top.
do it.
I feel like that's going to be one of those trends that we're going to look back on and be like, remember when everyone was like tapping into the mic?
I was telling them both before we recorded about a guy that did a Home Depot haul.
Yeah.
And had taped nails to his fingertips.
Get in on it.
So funny. Okay, so I think what we'll do is Renee and I both will choose a card, and then we will maybe rock, paper, scissors to see who picks for the collective.
Okay.
So we'll fan them out here. This is the Starseed deck. I think I said that by Rebecca Campbell. She has some really beautiful. Can you reach that?
Yep.
Beautiful decks, oracle decks. So oracle decks are, there's a deep description in the book. It gives a little description on the card. I think it's important to just focus on what do I need to know to help guide me through this coming year.
Yep. An intuitive pull. That's what I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know tarot per se, but
Okay.
Do you want me to share now, or do you want to pick
I'll
yours
pick,
first?
and then we'll both.
Okay.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun. This is so fun. Get to be on here drinking chocolate and pulling cards
know.
with my friend.
Right?
All right, there's mine.
No, she tell us what it is.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, now I'm excited.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
really interested.
The blue flame, spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. And there's this beautiful woman
Oh, yeah.
entering through a threshold, which is interesting because a lot of times I'll take people in meditation through something that looks very similar to this.
Mm-hmm.
Blue flame, activation, integration. I love that. Spontaneous awakening. That sounds like a phoenix moment.
It does. It sure does.
Nice.
I love it. Okay, I have the messenger.
Oh. Well, help.
Yeah. The messenger, Sirius, meaning the star, not Sirius. Sirius energy, bringing harmony and balance.
Oh.
I mean,
That's so you. Your
harmony.
Libra
And, I
placements.
know. I'm like,
yeah.
I have a lot of Libra placements, so
Big
that
Libra
does
energy.
make sense. Bringing harmony and balance, messenger.
Beautiful.
I like it. What is the Sirius energy part? Do you know?
I mean, I think you nailed it. It's like this galactic star energy. And a lot of the people from Sirius are here amongst us working with the
Bringing
humans.
messages.
Etching it in the walls. Bathroom
Beautiful.
stalls messages. Keep going.
Keep
You can do it.
Beautiful.
Okay, do you want to do one round of rock, paper, scissors, and then we will see who pulls?
Yes, but I get nervous about rock, paper, scissors.
No, don't be nervous. We'll just go into it. But we'll do it at the count of like rock, paper, scissors, shoot. That's how I like to do it. Thanks for playing with me. Okay, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Ah!
I get so nervous. I always do rock.
Dude, don't tell him your tell.
Oh, shit.
Don't tell him your tell.
I feel
All right,
like
this is
too
for the
much pressure
collective.
To get to the scissors or the paper, I just stay solid.
Oh, you stay in fight mode. Okay, there we go. For the collective, your life is a canvas. Artist, manifestation, creative accountability. And it's a woman overlooking this like gem forest.
Oh my gosh.
So beautiful.
I love that card.
Your life is a canvas. What a good like intention for us.
What a beautiful message for a January released podcast, because this whole year is your canvas.
You're the artist. What if you could see your year the way an artist sees a blank canvas?
Yes.
Like, what color would you choose?
Like, that reminds me of, the vision boards and everything that people
It does. Which
sometimes
are so
get
sweet.
into. Yeah, they're kind
So
of fun.
sweet. Oh yeah. My whole childhood, adolescent life was full of magazine clippings and putting on the wall. Did you do it too?
Dude, I have to
Like
look
the
back
whole
and
wall.
yes.
Yeah. My mom was like, "You're ripping the paint off the wall," and I'm like, "You could, but you're a good painter." She's like, "I am."
This is not a problem. Don't make this a problem, Mom.
Yeah.
No, I had, and I want to say mine were like, they were something, maybe even a book of like really colorful, interesting like photographs and
Yes. Some of mine were really artsy.
right.
Or photos I had taken in photo class and developed on my own. I had a few of horses and stuff. Then I had themes. There was like my surfer girl era,
Yes.
my horses, men,
Yes.
little men corner. I don't know. Just things I was calling in.
Yeah. That is so funny. I don't know. I mean, you and I are,
We must have been on the fringe of this.
but I'm older than you. So this must be just like a creative
Oh.
girl thing.
Yeah,
I think.
maybe it
Because
is.
Olivia has them too.
Okay, yeah.
And-
I
and,
could so see
like
that.
the aesthetic of having
No one
pictures.
told us to vision board though.
No, nobody told me to do that. I don't think.
In fact, I think I was like told not to do that.
Exactly, which made us do it more.
Obviously.
That's so awesome. I wonder if there's some photo album somewhere with a picture of the pictures on the wall, because they were.
I will show you mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we even at one point in my adolescence, I was done with the pink and I wanted like a really pretty jade. It felt very mature on the wall. And I was like, "Mom, we have to paint." And she's like, "Okay, let's do it." And she's like, "Are you gonna take down all your like graffiti?" I was like, yeah. So I took it all down, put it all back up on the fresh
Put it all back
paint.
up on the fresh paint. Oh, I'm sure your mom loved that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. When I was in, we have time for a story.
Okay.
Just a little
Is it
story
a
here
ghost
as we
story?
wrap
Because
up.
that really freaked me out last time.
No, not a ghost story this time.
Last episode, there's a ghost story Renee tells at the end, and it'll give you the heebie-jeebies.
Yes. It is cinematic quality.
We verified it with other people.
Ghost telling.
Heebie-jeebies.
No. Okay. I was 21-ish. Very chaotic time in my life. So I grew up in the suburbs of Washington, D.C., and I got a job selling, I was going to apartment buildings around D.C., Virginia, Maryland, and selling rental furniture through like a company that did, like corporate rental furniture for people moving into like corporate apartments and stuff like
Got
that,
it.
right? So I would go to the
What a
rental
niche.
offices. I don't even know if this is a thing anymore, but I went to the rental office and there was this gorgeous building in DC that overlooked this like really pretty tiered fountain. I forget the name of it. But I ended up somehow convincing them to give me a discount on an apartment and to live there. So I moved to DC and this was like, oh my gosh. Well, again, we're not going to get into math, but it was a long time ago. I was 21.
No.
So I'm remembering I paid $700 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment in DC with a view. Okay. Can't imagine what that goes for now.
Yeah.
But I decided
$3,000.
that I wanted to paint in this apartment. Now,
Oh.
guess what color I painted, Christina? All over the walls.
Pink.
Red.
I was going to say red.
Red. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
what?
So you're not
So-
allowed to paint rentals unless you put them back the way they
Exactly.
were. Okay.
I'm already, like, this just goes to show the brain was not fully developed at this point
Hey,
in time.
that's legit though.
True.
Yeah.
So I feel bad. I want to say that I feel bad for the maintenance person that had to go back
So
and
you
paint
never
over
made
this.
it right?
I don't know. I don't remember if I did
They're
or I
going to
didn't,
hear it
if
and
I
be like,
left it.
there she is.
There she is.
Wilmington, hunt her down.
Right?
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I left that apartment. I didn't make it a full year either because I couldn't. I don't remember what happened. It was a chaotic time.
You weren't
I don't
selling
remember
enough
what was
rental
happening.
furniture,
I wasn't.
baby.
I was not hustling that rental furniture.
You got that view and you're like, we're just painting.
I'm like, we're going out. We're going to
Oh,
clubs.
for sure.
We're just like,
For sure.
I don't know what we're
Do
doing.
whatever
but
we want.
Whatever we want in the city by myself.
Oh my God.
I know.
That's wild. But I also was in a big city at 21 too.
Were you?
That just shows how much our
Did you
parents
paint the
trusted
walls?
us. No, there were things that I actually can't say on a live recording.
Well, now I really want to know.
Tell you off camera. Yeah, there might still be some things not cleared up yet from that. So.
Wow. I do have
I've already
lot
said too much.
of gratitude for having, I have an 18-and-a-half-year-old daughter, and gosh, she's so like respectful of overall,
Yeah. I mean,
she
she's
just
Tinkerbell.
doesn't rock. Yeah,
Yeah.
She doesn't rock the boat like I did at that young phase of life.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happened.
Yeah.
Like maybe we've scared kids and now they don't act that way because there's just like so much they know because of being on the internet.
I think they're so sensitive too. They're
Yeah.
like, this is really starting to elevate my heart rate. I'm like,
Right.
they're like, crime is really hard on the nervous system.
Yes, exactly.
And you're like, wow, you're right. Let's do some deep breaths.
God, I was an asshole. I mean, red paint all over this
That's,
rental?
I mean, did it look cute after?
I don't even think so. I don't even know what that was.
I feel like,
Chaos.
yeah, I feel like you probably were fined for that.
There's probably still a fine out there.
That's what I'm trying to say to you. I'm like, dude, be cool. You with your math questions and your freaking rental questions. We actually have to go
come for
now.
me.
Yeah. Now that we're starting the new year off
It's a
right.
good thing I don't remember the address exactly. Jeez.
Do you look the same? Like, I'm telling you, you might be wanted.
I know, right?
That red wall girl.
I promise you, they learned a big lesson with me. They never rented to the court furniture rental girl again. Like they were like,
You burned that down.
like,
And at a discount.
oh yeah. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
and I think I like had some primo parking space situation, like out front,
for
like
sure.
I think I just took advantage
sure.
of everything. I mean,
what baby wants, baby gets.
yeah, clearly, I was just like, oh, you gonna let me park out front like that? Okay. Anyway, that's all I have for you today.
Well, now that me and Renee are both wanted for fines, and what else? Math. I said dodos were going extinct. I think you guys have heard all you need to hear.
I think you have, yes.
Your life is your canvas.
Yes. 2025 is your canvas.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. And I'm going to say laughing because
I hope you giggled.
I hope you did.
Just a little bit.
Do.
Yeah.
And thank you. Thank you for
honey.
being here with me.
Thank you for having me. It's been so fun to play with you.
So good. Appreciate you all.
We love you. Happy New Year.